Hi everybody, this is Alan Darwish, Ahmed Darwish. Hi everybody, this is Alan Ahmed Darwish. Thank you very much for inviting me to speak about business object. In the last 20 years, the IT moved from different back end. Many mainframes, they put them to sleep and replace them with Unix. And the IT grow into back-end databases and different depositories and middleware of different bridges and tunneling and security models, and front-end, which is mainly offices like Microsoft Office or open source Office or third-party application, or mainly the web. The information, the data of the corporation, of the government, also has been subjected to transformation, going into HTML, XML, all kind of different open architecture protocol. Of course, all these fast moving new technologies in which the communities of technology, whether they are the innovator or the users, they're trying to find out their ways. During this time, the object model, which is mainly instead of kind of like line by line code logic, they converted into object. Same happened in the industry, like say the cars. To build a car, they used to have maybe 10,000 parts, put them together and build a car. So the car companies decided to go to the object model of subsystem. Say, I will be specialized to build only engine. The other guy will maybe the tire or the body and so forth. So every life cycle becomes subsystem. Then they put them together. The nice about the subsystem, that if a person putting a car together, he will go and bring from a third party all this subsystem. So if, say for the manufacturer of the engine, if some parts has been changed or not available anymore, will not be the concern of the manufacturer of the car, will be only the concern of the manufacturer of the subsystem, the engine. So as to find out, he change the design, re-engineer it, or place new order with a third party, or set up a cutting machine, precision engineering to come up with that part. So he has to solve his problem. I'm just giving you an idea because it's the same roughly went through the business. We mean by the business the 9 to 5 human interaction in the government or in home computing or in business corporate with a small, medium or large scale. Then you start having the statement of object for a group of transactions. So they went to the data and broke it into smaller granule, and they went and started building what's called blueprint of the eGov, and blueprint of the department, and blueprint of different solution based on the requirement. In reality, what happened, they started what is called a business plan and maybe marketing plan, all kind of the MBA plans, and they turn it to the IT, matured IT department to match it with information technology plan. In the business plan, they have different tactical objects, then later they have strategic object. The same, they match this in the information technology plan of a tactical information technology plan and strategic. So like say a state like of Malacca, they will say we have for our say civil servants or for our marketing of tourism, we'll have a tactical plan and we'll have a strategic plan. So the information department will go and match each one for one. So when you go to this plan, they have a blueprint. And from the blueprint, you start breaking into different parts, which group of objects, then they go to the object, then they go to the level of transaction. So then they will have like a data dictionary that all these transactions already having a language. And they start going maybe package application or in-house re-engineering of different departments. And they start having what's called global or enterprise object and a local to the department itself. For example, if you have a customer or a citizen who comes for a license, part of his profile is a federal object, like maybe his national ID or his credit maybe level and so forth, his obligation, his clearance in terms has he paid all his due or fell short of some loans or whatever. While his local object will be his address and maybe the application he's applying for and so forth. So what I'm trying to say, they start now using a business object for every group of transaction as if the whole IT is a car and full of subsystem, and every subsystem has smaller parts and it becomes an object. The object in business also started very sophisticated logic. For example, in ATM objects, they have what is called all or none. So if I go and put the ATM card and query my account, so I found 1,000 ringgit, then I'm trying to do different transaction, then an error happens due to a third party, could be the internet connectivity or mainframe or electricity. So the system back end up to Oracle, they will have what's called all or none. Either all the transaction will be successful or none will be successful. So if I made few in this session, this object session of my ATM transaction, if I made different decision and transferring and different things, but at the end there's failure, it will cancel the whole rollback. They call it rollback to the whole as if I never put my ATM. If it succeeds, all of it will go through, so they call it all or none. Why I'm talking about business object? Because I would like you to start looking into head counting the usual suspects of role-driven requirement for XYZ department and also for every staff member. So we don't overload one person with all the work. So every person will have role-driven, having the object which he deals with. An example of a mature business object application, SAP. SAP was made by 8,000 programmers in Germany, used their own language called ABAP4. And the design of it is very simple, but yet very sophisticated. It has 150,000 objects. So what SAP or SAP they do, imagine you have a forest. They will not allow you to look at all the trees in the forest. You will see only the forest of your object role. If you are data entry for 5 items, you will see only these 5 trees. Then they force you a quality in your objects, in which you will, for example, if you don't enter the last field, you will not go further. The whole system will stop. Not only in your area, will stop everywhere. You have to have complete form entered. So once you enter it, it will move on. Now, all these objects, they break it in by role-driven. No single person will see all the objects. This way, they organize a fair management system that when you log in, you put your password, you will only deal with your forms. So there's nothing that you look at somebody else's forms. So everybody responsible for the forms, maybe 10 forms, 20 forms, and that's it. Manager responsible for their maybe group where forms in terms approval and things of that nature. So he puts his password. When he log, you see all what he's supposed to do. So a CEO, Chief Executive Officer in Chicago or in Kuala Lumpur, he press a button in SAP, he get a complete report of all sales everywhere for everybody bunch to the day, to the minute. And this never happened before SAP, because people keep waiting for different transaction, overnight feed, overnight this, overnight that, transformation overnight, because you have what they call it blue screens and green screens in the old days when you have to log in a server and get some information and it has to be printed. There's no files and you take it, key it in another system and so forth. So the object now is great in terms of designing, is in terms of QA, quality assurance, in terms of the business flow. Then you will be ready for better quality like Six Sigma or ISO 9000 standards and so forth, because now you became very mature, you have end-to-end architecture blueprint, you have already turned every stone and you leave no stone unturned, decided on everything, you wrote a complete blueprint. Then you took this and break it into roles for your staff, so will be role driven, everybody has a role and stop there. Then you will have all of it like symphony playing together. So the business object now is very important in terms of designing solution in-house, improving solution, applying regulation, add-on modification, re-engineering, because when you go, there is nothing called like ops. We don't know this source code, who has it, because it's no longer we have it, or we lost this, we lost that, because at the moment everything is seen, everything under the radar, everything having a quality assurance manual, everything documented, everything well managed. So the object, the blueprint of the tactical and strategic planning for both business and IT are in harmony and matching one-to-one. Then you will have the whole life cycle and the whole design very pristine, and you can go to the data center and you manage all your life as such. So you don't have the problem of, oh, we have about data center have 600 server, maybe there are server they're running and we don't know what they are running about, but we're scared to turn it off because maybe central bank shut down or something, we don't know. Why? Because in the old days they did things based on different departmental, don't have a complete blueprint and not accounted every object, business object in business has already translated into an object in the IT. So I hope with this limited time, I touch base. I will love very much, will not cost you anything, to invite us and have some coffee with you and discuss in your department how to make use of reinventing and re-engineering your department again according to the latest and the greatest of solution, which get you ready for the next one, where you have big win and you have more productive staff, and make Malaka with all their IT great managers and personnel, move Malaka to be almost a leading inshallah state in this union, and one Malaysia. So let us get together and apply more and to give more, so at a point we can almost hook all this into a good data warehouse or data mining, where the upper management and the consultant advisor of chief minister can push a button and get everything they need to know. I thank you very much again for inviting me, and it was a pleasure attending here. I'm sorry I didn't make it in business because I have a federal in Putrajaya an appointment. I couldn't cancel it, otherwise it would put me in trouble. Thank you very much. You guys take care. Assalamu alaikum.